This is the podcast Il Zebra's Transformations. I am the Il Zebra. The main purpose of this podcast is to continue journaling so that I keep healing. This is not a diary, meaning that my records won't necessarily reflect events in their chronological order, nor do I promise that the details will be accurate. If listening to my processing of traumas helps someone else along the way, I'll take it as having accomplished something for the higher good of all concerned. But now, without further ado, let's start. Hi, how are you doing, sir? My name is Ilse, and I'll be your server tonight. What can I get you to drink? Il Zebra? Yeah, sure. If you heard Il Zebra, I said Il Zebra. Now, take off my bra, the final syllable of Il Zebra, and you'll be left with my name, Ilse. If you also want to spell it right and support a cleaner environment, remove an L and use it as a straw. My name has only one letter L in it, so you don't need that extra one. In other words, the spelling is I-L-Z-E, and you'll see it on your ticket when you check out. What are you doing, Ilse? What do you mean what I'm doing, B? I'm working, earning money. You know what I mean. You act like a cheap whore. You sure know what thought you're seeding in that man's head. He's taking this as if you're sending him an estrus cue. Shut up, B. You're pathetic and jealous. Jealous of what? Jealous I didn't tell him my second name, your name. I don't have time to deal with your issues. I need to compete with Barbie. Look at her. Curled hair, fake lashes, red lipstick. I see it. Everyone sees it. She's the one who is sending estrus cues. Hard facts. In 2007, researchers from the Department of Psychology, University of New Mexico, Albuquerque, conducted a study, the results of which constituted the first direct economic evidence for the existence and importance of estrus in a contemporary human females in a real-world work setting. For those who don't know, estrus is a phase of increased female sexual receptivity, proceptivity, selectivity, and attractiveness. The study showed that both male and female observers are perceptually sensitive to women's choice of more conspicuous and fashionable clothes during estrus. Furthermore, 18 lap dancers agreed to participate in the study, and within its framework, these females tracked their cycles, work shifts, and earnings for 60 days. The analysis revealed that naturally cycling dancers earned the most during estrus, namely $335 per shift on average, and the least during menstruation, namely $185 per shift on average. Now, who of us is the jealous one? I'm not jealous. I'm well-read and intelligent, that's all. Sure, you're well-read and intelligent, so you should know you can't compete with someone who could be your daughter. My daughter? My daughter? She could be my daughter, you said? You're right, B. I haven't been acting like myself lately. I love women. I understand women. I feel compassion for women. We're sisters, carrying the same ancestral traumas. Barbie could be my daughter. I don't know what's happened with me. Hurt people, they say. But I will heal myself. However, now I need to go make money. Good evening, ma'am. My name is Ilse, and I'll be your server tonight. What can I get you to drink? Oh, how do I spell my name? Well, think of the sentence, I love zany experiences. My first zany experience occurred when I was named. My mom, who speaks no English, gave me a name that is an acronym for I love zany experiences. So that's how you spell it. ILZE. I've had a lot of zany experiences. There are some that I don't remember. There are some that I don't want to remember, so I won't discuss in detail. The place of those details is under a rug. I swept them there and decided they no longer mattered. Good evening, guys. My name is Ilse and I'll be your server tonight. What can I get you to drink while you're looking through the menu? No, ma'am, I'm not related to the owners. No, ma'am, I'm not Greek. I'm Latvian. Oh, where's Latvia? Well, if you can locate the Aegean Sea on the map and the capital of Greece, Athens, on its shore, the next thing would be to shoot straight up north across the entire continent of Europe until you hit the Baltic Sea and the Latvian capital Riga on its shore. What brought me here? What brought me here, sir, no longer exists. Maybe it never existed, or existed only in my imagination. Do you believe in true love, sir? Never mind. I know your answer. Can I get you anything, ma'am? I lean toward making a decision to avoid an explosion that will inevitably happen if I stay. Even though I have been tamed to be patient, but as an abuse victim, I am acutely tuned into registering the slightest cues of abuse. Out of the 4 F words, fight, flight, freeze, or fawn, that describe possible responses to cortisol flush due to perceived danger, I have mastered the latter best. Fawning is my to-go coping mechanism. Yet, because I suppress my feelings, my body hurts more, and I can't sleep at night. If I can't sleep, I can't function. I can do better, I'm telling myself. Where are you, B? When I need you. I need you to confirm this. I'm here. I was wondering how long it would take until you'd ask. Yes, Ilse. We are worth a lot more. For us to gain true freedom, the thing to do is to start marketing our offers and start accumulating cash for reinvesting. That's a theory that doesn't always work, B. But we've done it in past many times, Ilse. Why wouldn't it work again? Because we are no longer who we used to be. Who are we then? I don't know who we really are, but I know whoever we are damaged. Something isn't working. We aren't functioning like we used to. You know it, because we are one. I do. Trauma expert Dr. Paul Conti thinks that trauma is the main cause of death in the US and perhaps in the modern world. Through decades of experience, Dr. Conti has had many observations. For instance, a death certificate may show that the person has died in a car accident, but closer examination would reveal that the person was driving 120 miles an hour in bad conditions and had had 5 car accidents before. Dr. Conti thinks it might be due to trauma. So what is trauma? The biological definition is that it is anything that overwhelms our coping mechanisms and causes changes in our brains. Our traditional way of looking at trauma comes from our observing what causes acute trauma, such as physical violence or a close one's death in a car accident, because it's just more evident. Yet those changes in the brain characteristic to trauma happen in other ways too. For instance, if a person experiences being seen as less than others over time, a child who is being neglected or abused in the family or bullied at school, or an immigrant who lives among locals instead of a larger community of other immigrants of the same ethnicity. This is a different category of trauma, a chronic trauma, in which case nothing happens all at once, but those changes in the brain can still be observed. Vicarious trauma is the third category, which happens due to our ability to have an empathic connection with other human beings. People who are very much involved in other people's trauma, such as therapists, journalists, intimate partners, coaches, or someone spending a lot of time with the news, can become traumatized and have changes in the brain that look the same as the person who lost 2 family members in the car accident. It is important to note, though, that we have different susceptibility and tolerance, which depend on various factors. Not everyone's brains would change after the same incident in the same circumstances. Yet, with traumatizing events compiling and without proper processing and healing of the trauma, the susceptibility increases and the tolerance weakens. Therefore, in the context of trauma, the saying, "What doesn't kill us makes us stronger," is wrong. When it comes to trauma, the saying, "What doesn't kill us makes us weaker," is right. Dr. Conti calls it a multiple hit effect, which means that with multiple traumas in the past, one seemingly insignificant event can destroy a seemingly resilient human being. The telltale signs of trauma are not always immediately evident. If someone we know as an extrovert suddenly won't leave the house, we would know to ask, "What's wrong?" However, often signs are subtle. For example, a person is a little less interactive, a little bit different, less outgoing, taking less care of themselves, or has become just a little more snappy or impatient. People on the other side of trauma are not unlike people after a stroke, who need to relearn many fundamental skills anew. You still have the memory of them, and they have the memory of themselves as they were before, but the present truth is different. Even if the shell, their body, seems to be the same. What would help them is your love and support, but you won't be able to do the work for them. They need to want to heal. You can hope trauma hasn't changed their brain too much, and they'll be able to recover. I needed that love and support after the last hit of trauma. Without it, I might have not survived. So we call up Mara and tell her we can no longer keep quiet. We want to perform on a stage and share our story, but we can't make ourselves talk. We feel blocked, locked in a restaurant. We're performing in a small way, even though we know we can do big things. Mara is an intimacy coach for actors. She guides us through a powerful healing session which results in our journaling. Should I say my journaling? Do you journal? Or have you tried at least? I knew many experts recommended journaling, so I had tried it several times, but never succeeded in sticking to it. Now I have resumed it. This time, I have a different approach, and hence, I've had different results already. This was the session that opened me up. I really can't recommend Mara enough if you feel stuck like I did. But if you want to first try to do it yourself, I understand. So pick a moment to slow down. Turn off your phone and turn inward. Breathe and feel the bodily sensations. Is it stiffness? Pain? or maybe tingling. They're trying to say something to you. Notice your feelings. You may think there's nothing. You may think there's blankness. But blankness has information too. Don't ignore it. It's your inner child who feels ignored. Ignorance is abuse. Stop it. Take the time your inner child needs to start feeling safe to open up to you. Then listen. And more importantly, hear. Don't rush. That is your wisdom speaking with you. That's your healing power. What are you thinking now, B? What am I thinking, Ilse? I think you are not an ill zebra. No, I'm sure you are a lioness who was lost, who found a zebra herd and tried to fit in. Yet, it doesn't change the fact that you are a lioness, and like such, your instinct is to cooperate with other lionesses, to create a safe and nurturing environment for herself, her cubs, and her sisterhood. Stop being who you are not, and be who you are. You are Ilse B. You've been listening to the podcast of Ilse B. If you like what you hear, please subscribe and share it to show me your support and help me grow. If you want to learn more about me, my causes, my products, and my services, please visit my website ilzebe.com. That's ILZEBE.com. Disclaimers. In this podcast, I talk about mental and physical health and what has helped me to heal. Nothing that I say should be regarded as medical advice. If you have any medical condition, consult your doctor. Also, I'm an artist and storyteller. I'm sharing my stories because that's what artistic people do. Take it as fiction and as a form of my art. Even though I may sound as if I'm recalling events from my past, I don't confirm they actually happened. And if they did, I'm not blaming or accusing anyone, nor should you. I take all my life lessons with gratitude, trusting that they are given to me to expand my soul.